You with the one and only boxing guru, aka WilderHater, for this episode of Under the Microscope. I'm gonna focus in on the fight that at first I didn't even want it to happen. It's between Manny Pacquiao versus Errol the True Spence. I meant to say Senator Manny Pacquiao because at this point of Manny Pacquiao age, with him being a senator and him at 42 years old, ain't fought in 2 years. I don't know what we gonna get. You know, when politicians come around, they usually just want to vote. But in this case, some politicians might want just easy cash. That was the only problem I had with this fight. But as I thought about it, all the blood, sweat, and tears that Manny put in this sport, I had to take my hat off and say, you know what? I'm going to break down this fight and give my opinion about this fight just on that alone. Because Manny Pacquiao, the boxer, the fighter, definitely deserves the opportunity to fight if he wants to. I was just concerned with his age and different things. You know, it could have been a money grab. But in my opinion, I'm going to break it down like he's a young man. I want to keep the fight. You know, maybe an opponent, you know, his peers, maybe like a Keith Thurman, somebody like that, Bud Crawford. But if he fight legendary Manny Pacquiao, I ain't mad at it. I'm going to break it down like both of them is the same age. And Manny ain't been fighting for 15 to 20 years. You know, I'm going to break it down like that. So in my opinion of this fight, I definitely likes the fight now as I thought about it. Because you know, with Manny Pacquiao, agility at 42 years old is still up there with some of the best. His foot movement, his work ethic, you can't deny that. So that is going to be a major part in this fight against a bigger man than Errol Spence. You're going to have to see a different Errol Spence if he want to be victorious against Manny Pacquiao. Errol Spence got to play the role as the distance. You know, the counter puncher, he gonna have to be more on the art of boxing because of Manny's quickness and punching power. So Errol definitely gonna have to take that into consideration. And plus, you know how Errol usually deal with fighters that has agility and mobility, like Sean Porter did against him. You know, they can throw Errol Spence off his rhythm. So Errol definitely has to be wise on this fight. He definitely has to show everybody he is the pound for pound best, because it's going to take this game like a chess match. Because with Manny in and out, darting out, you know, you don't want to get clipped by him and stuff like that. So Errol definitely going to have to show a different wrinkle. So that's why I like this fight. And with Manny could be, you know, the best ever, one of the best ever, you know, because what he did. Just imagine, we're going to dream for a minute. If Manny comes in, he knocked off Keith Thurman, who was undefeated, a young, strong lion. Floyd didn't want to fight. Now he coming after Errol the True Spence. Just imagine if he knocked off Errol the True Spence. You know what I'm saying? And then he goes after Bud Crawford for the finale. Oh my God, that would be crazy, wouldn't it? An old man like me getting in there with some young bucks and doing your thing. It definitely can happen, you know, with Manny boxing IQ and his legendary skills. You know, he's the 8 division champ and the boxing guys on his side for history. You know what I'm saying? So he's not an 8 division champ for no reason, man. So that's why it made me think about doing this video and this breakdown, because of what is at stake in this match. So it's very intriguing to see this match, you know, because I've been watching Manny for a long time, man. I was in my 20s, you know what I'm saying? So Manny been doing it for a while, man. So you definitely got to respect that man at a high level too. Even though he had a few defeats, in my opinion, they weren't even defeats. You know, I think he might have lost maybe 1 or 2 fights. And the knockout fight against Marquez, that shouldn't even been a fight, because he had beat Marquez, in my opinion, those times. So, you know, with him, had to keep fighting him, and Manny was like, shit, I'm going to get him out of here this time. Manny was over-aggressive. Manny caused that for himself because he went against his gift as the art of boxing. So me, you know, he's basically only lost 1 or 2 fights, really. And then the Floyd Mayweather fight, that took so long. And Floyd was the A side. Who knows, just to get that money, man. So, concessions could have been made on that. I'm always a conspiracy thinker. You know what I'm saying? When a fight takes too long to make, but I still love boxing. My love for it is unconditional. But I do believe in conspiracy theories and things of that nature. So, but in this fight, if Manny comes in there and press Errol, make Errol fight. You got to make Errol fight. You got to make him throw punches so you can get him to open up and Manny can have a chance to clip him, because Manny's arms is like 5 to 6 inches shorter than Errol. So Manny going to have to play the role as the aggressor. Because Errol going to try to use distance and use his jab to step back, give himself a chance to react to Manny's movement, his quick punches and stuff like that. So Manny definitely has to put Errol on the back foot and make him fight for him to have a chance to win. So it's definitely going to be intriguing to see if Manny still has that dog in him to constantly walk down a younger fighter. Even though he did that with Thurman, the first half of the fight, but then he started getting tired. See, that's the difference at being not 45, but 42 years old. If it was a 6-round fight or 8-round fight, I would lean towards Manny to get off quick and win the fight. But this is a 12-round fight, so that's 36 minutes that Manny got to, keep this work rate up against a stalker like Errol Spence. So it's definitely going to be intriguing to see if he can do it. So for 2 years being out of that ring and at home, so that's what makes it so leery. But with Manny work rate and work ethic, it definitely will help him in this fight. So I'm definitely looking forward to this fight. I will be in attendance on August 21st in Las Vegas. It's going to be electrifying to see if Errol Spence going to continue as the new sensation at 147, or if Manny reign is still going to continue. And me, I'm definitely going to root for the old man because I'm old. Plus what Manny did for the sports. I'm looking for that Cinderella story. You know what I'm saying? But Errol definitely can win based on the art of boxing. Just stay behind his jab. But it's definitely going to be a close fight. I don't believe Errol will stop Manny because Manny understands boxing too much. Plus, Manny can defend himself against a lot of those fighters with his quickness and his punch rate and his combination of punches. So that will protect Manny. So I'm not worried about that because Errol is definitely not a one-punch knockout artist. So like Marquez clipped Manny on the chin, I don't think Errol can be able to do that. Errol usually a jab, then a left hand, not too much power on it, but a little pop. He throws a bunch of punches to wear his opponents down. He's like a volume knockout puncher. So that's how he would be able to do it with Manny. But if Manny in tip-top shape, I think Manny foot movement would get him out of danger. Plus, Manny keeps a high guard. If Errol try to go down to his body, Manny can counter him with heavy shots because Errol will bend down to make his height as compromising as Manny is. From Errol being, 5'10", he would dip down to Manny's body, so he would become like 5'5". So that would be a no-no in my book. So Errol will have to stay long and tall. So that's why I don't see Errol stopping Manny in this fight. So it would be intriguing if it did happen, but I believe Manny will put up a good fight as long as it lasts. These are the words of the one and only boxing guru, aka WilderHater, for this episode of Under the Microscope. Errol Spence versus Manny Pacquiao.
Subscribe to me if you want more of the Boxing Guru Show.
Come get it. 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 Come get it.